The C5 Corvette is one of the most recognizable sports cars in the world. Whether you love them or you hate them, they still have a special spot in a lot of people's hearts. And the reason being is because they have one of the best cost to performance a car has ever had. They have one of the best engines GM has ever had, the LS1. And they are just super sexy to look at. They have flip-up lights, they have an amazing silhouette, and they're basically a go-kart. People drift them, people turn them into drag cars, people just drive them normally every single day like I do. Now that being said, they're still not 100% perfect, no car is, and after driving the black one since I was 16 years old and the blue one since I was 18 years old, there are about 5 things that I hate about the C5 Corvette and I wish that they changed from factory. Welcome to Pomeroy's Garage, where I turn poor choices into content. Behind me is my black 2002 Corvette convertible and the electron blue 2002 Z06. Now, I've been around C5 Corvettes since I was this small. My dad has a 2003 anniversary edition Corvette that I honestly grew up in, and I feel like I'm pretty qualified to make this list. My grandfather has a C5 Corvette that I sold to him. My dad has a bunch of C5 Corvettes when they were new to right now, and then I have a bunch of C5 Corvettes. So right now I want to jump into 5 things that I hate about the C5 Corvette and that I wish they changed. Everybody online says that the C5 Corvette is a go-kart, and that is very true, especially when it comes to the Z06. And because of that fact, I think GM skipped out a lot on the interior. Every video you're gonna watch online is gonna talk about how the C5 Corvette has one of the most plastic interiors that you could think of. It feels like this car came right from China when you look at the interior. Now, my Z06 has an upgraded steering wheel, shifting boot, and different bezel here, but I mean, overall, it's pretty stock when it comes to the interior, and like, it is just super, I don't know, squeaky. And there's gaps everywhere, and it just feels like it was put together very last minute. The heads-up display bezel is usually always cracked, and it's so annoying and super hard to get out. People make a cover that goes on top, but if you want to replace it with a GM part, you have to take out the whole dash. The second thing I want to talk about is the lack of a cup holder. You do have this excuse of a cup holder that really is, well, my ketchup packet holder and a bunch of change, because whenever I drive the car with any sort of drink in there, it always just spills out all over my passenger, then it gets all on my plastics, and it just isn't really pleasant. Now, there is some aftermarket cup holders that people put in there that kind of like stick in between your center console and the passenger side seat. So there is that, but yeah, I don't know, I think they just thought of it as an oversight. They were probably thinking, why would someone drive with a drink in their sports car? And then they were like, oh yeah, our target market is actually 60-year-old guys that just like having the top down and just going for drives, and they probably want to bring their water bottle, and they're like, ah, crap, let's put this in there. So yeah, they do make aftermarket stuff, but I don't have one. The third thing I absolutely hate about the C5 Corvette is the seats. Now, this isn't actually a great example of a seat that is in good condition. This is a Z06 seat, and they usually tear right here at the seams and right over here. And then also the seat is always compressed on the driver's side, especially if your previous owner or you are a bigger guy, and everyone just pushes this down, and it just always sucks. You can see an example of a ripping right here on my car. It's not really ripping yet, but it's coming off a bit. And then as you can see, it's so flat over here because the guy that used to use these seats, I assume, was a bigger dude. I don't understand why they didn't put Recaros or something in their flagship sports car. Did you know at the same time that they were making this car, the 1997 Lumina police package had Recaro seats? Yeah, that kind of sucks that they didn't put it in a Corvette, but they put them in a police car. Another thing is you'll see a lot of people put aftermarket seats in here, especially when they're going to the track, because they do have no support. And then people who just want to drive their car like me, they usually get their seats recovered and recushioned because it is really annoying on your butt, especially when you're driving this thing to like Florida, like I did, and you're sitting lopsided the whole way there. And the fourth thing, maybe I'm nitpicking, but why not make the radio a double din radio? This is a aftermarket unit and bezel that I put in the Corvette that is a aftermarket double din, and I had to buy this whole thing from VetNuts to match my interior, but I needed to have my CarPlay in here because, you know, I'm a young dude and I like listening to my tunes. That being said, you can get cheaper ones like that one in my Z06, but it doesn't really match the interior grain and it looks cheaper and it doesn't fit the vibe in my opinion. I want to get that switched out with another VetNuts one, so hopefully I can go grab one. I just don't understand why they didn't put a double din radio in there. It just makes it so much better for aftermarket support. You either have to put in a single din with a little cubby, or you have to buy a super expensive bezel just to get a double din radio. So a lot of guys usually just put a Bluetooth chip in their radio, their factory one, and run it as is, but I like having my CarPlay and my navigation and all that stuff, so I just went and bought a more expensive unit. Now, all this being said, it is a 20-year-old car, but my fifth thing is going to be those small little quirks you have to look for in these cars. Like the HVAC system will fail and your control unit won't turn on and you don't have any AC or heat. Another thing is like pre-2000, they have horrible EBCMs, which means they always fail and you'll get the ABS light, you'll get the traction control light, and they don't make any aftermarket ones. You can't buy them new from GM, so you have to spend a small fortune just to get them rebuilt. Now, some guys just pull the bulb out and they run it with no ABS and no traction control, which, I mean, you can do that, but I'm not the person to do that. I usually like my cars running perfectly how they came from factory, so I would have to go spend thousands of dollars just to get my EBCM fixed. This one happened to me recently. The hazard switch will fail, which will basically mean that your turn signals don't work. It really sucks because they don't make the hazard switch anymore, or they're really hard to find. You can't get one from GM. And I got a bunch of hazard switches at Carlisle and only 3 of them worked. And you have to take out a whole bunch of stuff in the dash, and it's a whole thing. So make sure the hazard switch works in your car so you don't have faulty turn signals in the future. Another thing that happened to me on the blue Z06 is I was at a Chick-fil-A and I was driving my car and I was pulling out and my column just stopped steering and I got a column lock, and that really sucked because I could not get it undone. No matter what I did, I had to get it towed to my boys at Race Ready and they were able to fix it up. But like, I could not drive this car. It was in limp mode. I couldn't turn the steering wheel and I had to get put on a tow truck. Luckily, my tires were straight when the column locked, but there was literally nothing I could do to get it unlocked. I tried every trick in the book, nothing worked. If you have a FRC like the Z06, these drip rails always break, especially if they have higher miles. Now, they don't make the same ones from General Motors. You'll have to get aftermarket ones, and they're pretty expensive. So, yeah, always look out for these cracks. This pisses me off, but there's nothing I can do about it. The parts aren't relatively available, or they're gonna cost you an arm and a leg. So that is actually way more than 5 things I hate about this car, and like 5 things to look out for if you're going to buy one. Now, these cars I would recommend to anybody. They're amazing and I love driving them. As I said, the cost performance is nuts. Like the Z06 has around $11,000 in mods. It has heads, headers, full exhaust. It has a cam, it has a new intake, and it is awesome. And it honestly looks super sexy. They both look super sexy. So I would recommend these cars to anyone. Just make sure, like, do your research on the 97 to 2000. I honestly stay away from those cars. I usually go 2000 to 2004. I think to me, that's the sweet spot. Honestly, my whole family has 2002s. This one's a 2002, this one's a 2002, my dad's a 2002, my grandpa's is a 2002. It just ended up that way, and they have worked out the best for us. Now, if you learned something in this video, please consider subscribing and comment down below any problems that you have ever had with the C5 Corvette, or maybe you guys can help each other in the comments and ask questions about stuff that's going wrong with your car, because I'm sure everyone would be happy to help you and share their experiences. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out, and I'll talk to you later.